Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little different, a little fun, and that is this right here. As you can see, it's a tier list for Black Ops 2 weapons, which is personally my favorite game. I love all the weapons in it, so it might be kind of tough. So I think we're gonna just start by selecting the guns I didn't like. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this sniper. I didn't like that sniper. I mean, all these guns I really like, but if I have to pick the ones that were my least favorite to use, or I didn't use that often, that's definitely one of them. Probably the small. I didn't really use that much. SMR was okay, but again, I didn't use it that much. This shotgun kind of sucked. I forget what it was called, but I mean, it was like okay, but at the same time, you know, out of all the wonderful guns we have, I gotta put that at the bottom. Let's see what we got here. A lot of just very historic guns. I mean, the Chicom CQB was pretty fun, but what definitely wasn't like a great gun in the game. I'd probably have to put that at a C for now, and that might be subject to change. This shotgun was again kind of fun to use, but I gotta put that at the bottom. We'll just try to knock out some of these guns that were my least favorite. Then we'll get on to the good guns. This launcher, of course, nobody cares about rocket launchers. I mean, RPG, I'll probably put up here though, just because it's an RPG. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta have it there. I want to put the crossbow at B probably. It was one of those, like, you don't really use it in multiplayer, but it was fun to use in sticks and stones and all that. And I'll probably put the ballistic knife right there with it. They were pretty fun to use, but again, they weren't like the best gun of the game, but they definitely weren't the worst to use. The executioner, that gun's probably gonna go on the bottom, honestly. It just wasn't that good, really. It was, again, kind of fun. It was fun to use sometimes for the challenge, but it just really wasn't that good. Let's see, moving on here, it's gonna get a lot tougher now. All right, I think we're gonna just move on. All right, so I think we have about all the bad guns taken care of. So let's move on up. So C tier, the SWAT was pretty good. I have to put it above the RPG in the Chicom. I'd probably put it on the same level as the MP7. MP7 was really good though. I mean, that thing had 40 round mags and it shredded, low recoil. M27, again, I feel like it and the MP7 were like really nice though. I'm gonna have to put them at A. Just have to. AN94, that's gotta be an S tier, I feel like. It was just really nice, really balanced AR, very fun to use. One of the primary weapons I used to use. Let's just start from over here, I guess. The B23R, you know, it's a pistol, so I can't really give it too much love. It was one of the better pistols, but I'm probably gonna have to put it down here with the CQB and the RPG. C tier, it was a pretty good gun, but not, you know, definitely not the best because it is just a pistol. But anyways, moving on. All right, so the Ballista, very good gun, fun to use. One of the better snipers in the game. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna have to just leave it at A tier for now and see where we end up. The DSR, my personal favorite, I'm gonna have to just put that at S tier just because, you know, and I might move the Ballista up there, I don't know. I personally was more of a DSR sniper, but the Ballista was really good as well. So moving on to the Cap-40, I want to put it at C, but I feel like it was a little better than the B23R, or at least more fun. It was a fully automatic pistol, so it was like a pocket SMG or something in my mind. So I'm gonna put that at B. Fun to use, really nice sidearm. I'll go ahead and get the pistols done. 5.7 I actually really liked in this game, but I don't know if I'd put it with the Cap-40. I'll probably have to leave it down here with the B23R. The FAL, I had a lot of fun using this gun. It was a fun gun to use, but so many were in this game. I'm really debating on B or A right here. I feel like I just can't put it at A though. I feel like those are like the really elite guns, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to leave it at A though. I did really enjoy that gun. That was really fun to use. All right, so we got the Hammer LMG. All right, so the Hammer was like one of my favorite guns in zombies, but multiplayer wasn't the greatest LMG, I would say. I'm gonna have to put it at C for sure. Yeah, that's a really good spot for the Hammer. It was like really good, powerful LMG, but it was kind of slow for multiplayer. Really good for zombies. Well, I think C is a solid placing for it. Moving on to the KSG. This one was actually a lot of fun, I won't lie, but I think I'm gonna have to put it at B. It just wasn't an S or A tier weapon. It was very fun to use on like Nuketown or a map like that, or firing range, because it had like a slug round, had pretty gnarly range for a shotgun. So the KSG was definitely a lot of fun to use, but I wouldn't put it too high or too low again. So moving on, Lsat. This thing, with a target finder with a grip on it was a lot of fun. It's an LMG though, so I feel like I can't put it too high, but I have to because that thing was so much fun. You get your riot shield, you place that riot shield down, you post up behind it with your target finder Lsat in pubs and be toxic like that, and that was just like, I mean, that's how I got my high kill games when I was like 12 or 13. I'm gonna move on from that one. All right, so the M8A1, it's an S tier. That's one of the best assault rifles of all time, probably in my opinion. Very good assault rifle, really fun to use, and it was a burst, so it changed it up from the AN94. A lot of fun to use, really good AR. So definitely an S tier weapon for sure. Moving on, we got this LMG. I forget the name. I think it's like the M249, something like that. Probably have to put it down by the hammer. It wasn't that special of a gun, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite weapons in the game. The Msmc, I think everybody loved this weapon. This is one of the weapons I think everybody can agree on is an S tier. It was the best submachine gun for competitive, and it's what Nadeshot used, the legendary Nadeshot, so, and Scumpy. So if Scump and Nadeshot use it, it's got to go with the S tier, so that's where it's going to be. The MTAR, now this is a gun I personally did not really use that much for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I never really liked it that much, but I do know it was pretty good. I don't know if I want to put it at A or B. I'm gonna put it at B just because I never really used it much, but it could be an A tier weapon if you really used it and enjoyed it. So that's how I'm gonna do that. All right, so the PDW, probably the best SMG for like pub stomping other than the MP7, because you did have 50 round mags in it. This has got to be an S tier. I mean, the PDW was pretty iconic. You could get some really high gameplays with it, some really get some like gnarly streaks going because you did have that 50 round mag, and it was just pretty insane. Did good damage, you know, good balanced SMG that nicely complemented the Msmc. So definitely putting that at S tier. The Peacekeeper, this was a really nice DLC gun. I had a lot of fun using it actually. It was a AR, very fun to use. I'm gonna have to put that at A tier. I do feel like it aligns with all these guns. Like the M27 is very fun to use. I feel like the M27 and the Peacekeeper were similar as far as like how I played with them, and like they both had pretty low recoil, and they were really fun to use. So definitely put those at A tier. Not the best guns in the game, but they're really good for sure. Moving on, we have this LMG, which I cannot remember the name of. I do remember it was the most mobile LMG, I think. I'm gonna have to put it at B tier. It's definitely above the hammer and the M249 or whatever that one's called. It was a little more mobile, I believe, and that's the one I personally used a lot more if I was playing public with an LMG. It was a little faster, a little better, but then again, it wasn't quite the Lsat. I don't know, the Lsat was just a lot of fun. I don't know why. I think it just had the best damage or fire rate or whatever. But I'll put it right below the Lsat, but above the hammer and the M249. All right, so we have the Remington 870 now, the R870. This was one of the most fun shotguns to use in Call of Duty that I have experienced, other than the KSG. The KSG right there was pretty fun. But this thing on Nuketown with like fast mags, fast hands, whatever the attachments are called on it. Can't even remember. I think long barrel. A lot of fun to use. I want to put this in an S tier. I got to put it in S tier. I had a lot of fun with that. You know, I come from like a competitive mind, I guess. So a lot of these S tier weapons were used in competitive, like the Msmc, the M8. But I don't know. If I'm just going my general Black Ops 2 experience, the Remington 870 is probably an S tier weapon. I had a lot of fun destroying on Nuketown with that gun. Very fun gun to use. Running a C4 with fast hands, you just throw your C4 out, get a kill. A lot of fun. So moving on. All right, so this is the Scar, I believe. This gun, I didn't use a lot. I did like it though. I guess I did use it a good bit. I definitely used it more than the MTAR. I'm gonna have to put it had like low recoil. It was a lot of fun to use. Well, I wouldn't say low recoil, but it had controllable recoil. Fun to use, high damage on it if I remember. I'll probably have to put that in A tier. It was a really good weapon, very fun to use, solid gun, looked cool, all that. So it's definitely an A tier. So the Scorpion, this one's got to be an S tier. It's kind of like the Spitfire in Black Ops 4 if you know that gun, but it was just way better for whatever reason. It just had a rhythm about it. It reloaded so fast. It also shot so fast, so it had to reload fast. But Scorpion was pretty insane. I mean, if you had a fast reaction time with the Scorpion, like nobody could beat you in a gunfight pretty much. So that was a very fun gun to use. So Now we have this gun. I forget. I think it was called the SVG. It's a sniper. It was semi-auto. So I used this SVG a good bit for fun. I don't think it was that good of a gun. I did use it a lot with like a thermal on it or something to camp with, to be honest. But I think it's got to go to C. It just wasn't. You know, it wasn't a good gun, really, bottom line. So we're just gonna leave that at C. And moving on to the Tac-45 pistol. This was personally my favorite for whatever reason, other than the Cap 40. But as far as like single fire pistols go, this was my favorite, a little bit over the 5.7. So I'm gonna have to put it at B tier for whatever reason. That's like kind of, you know, my opinion. I just like that pistol. I feel like it had high damage. I just like that pistol. So it's going to sit solid at B tier. Now onto our last couple guns. We have the Type 25. Again, this is a really good AR. You already know where I'm going to have to put it. We're going to have to put it at A tier because it was a really good AR. I think it only had 25 rounds if I remember, but it had really good damage. It was pretty quick. I mean, it was just a solid AR, same as the Scar, Peacekeeper, M27, so on. So I'm gonna have to put that there. And then the Vector, I personally like this gun a lot for whatever reason, just because the looks of it. It was a pretty good gun as well. I just don't think I can put it at S tier though, personally, even though I used it a lot. I had it gold. It was probably one of the guns I used more often at some point in the game, but I'm gonna have to throw that at A tier, I think, along with these guns. And I think that's a pretty good list. So for the Ballista, I thought about moving it up to S tier, but I don't know. I think I just have got to leave that at A tier for me personally, because I just love the DSR a lot more. Ballista, I just got hit markers with it a lot, but it was a good gun. It was fun to use. It was a little faster, but yeah, I think this is my ranking overall. I mean, the RPG I could put down at D. I probably should, so we're gonna throw that down there, I guess. It was probably more fun to use in some of these like lock-on launchers, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a launcher, so I'll probably move it down there. And really, I think I agree with this list a lot. The AN-94 was really fun to use. All these S tier weapons, very good. A tier weapons, pretty much just as good as the S tier weapons, maybe just not as iconic or, you know, used in competitive as much, but they were also very good. The B tier weapons, really fun to use. Staples of the game. They could outperform most other guns in the game if you're good with them. The SWAT, I think, was a burst, had like no recoil. It was very, very good, fun to use. Cap 40 was really good and competitive even. All these guns are good. C tier, we have, you know, not too many guns. This is the least amount of guns we have in a tier, but, you know, these are the guns that you could use. They're all right, but they're definitely like not the best ones to use, but, you know, they're okay. And then we have the D tier, which is probably the worst guns in Black Ops 2, which says a lot because these guns really weren't that bad. I mean, you could quickscope with this XPR, I think it was called, semi-auto sniper, and you could get one-hit kills with it. It was like pretty good, but out of all the other options, it was one of the worst. You know, the launchers, they're on the bottom because they're launchers. The SMR was actually pretty good. I mean, it might even be better than the FAL. I just feel like the FAL is more iconic. The SMR was just I don't know, a little strange to me. I never used it a lot, but I mean, it wasn't bad, you know, but for Black Ops 2 being such a good game, it's got to go on the bottom. And then these two shotguns, both being, well, this one was like semi-automatic. This one was like a burst or something. They were kind of weird, but kind of fun to use once in a while if you want to challenge, like I said earlier. Definitely have to be a D tier. Launcher, obviously, on the bottom. Executioner, it was like a pistol shotgun, which is kind of weird. Again, fun to use sometimes, but it's got to go on the bottom. And then the RPG on the bottom. So I think that runs through the whole list pretty much. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you agree with this tier list. I think I did a pretty good job. I think most people would agree with this. Maybe change a couple things, but yeah, I think that's really about it for this video. It's all I wanted to do. I thought it'd be fun to kind of go back and revisit the Black Ops 2 guns, because I did have so much fun with so many of these. Really, all of these I had fun with at some point in the game. They're all good in their own respect, but this is my official tier list for them, and it's really gonna do it for this video. Comment below and let me know which ones you would change or what tier you think a certain gun should be. I'd love to hear that, and let me know, you know, what your favorite gun was in Black Ops 2. My favorite gun in Black Ops 2 was probably the MSMC overall. MSMC was just really balanced, great and competitive, all that. So I'd just have to go with the MSMC as my all-time favorite Black Ops 2 gun. But let me know what yours is in the comments. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.